All right, so I did that video showing the cop hitting the dude in the face, and a bunch of people have brought up Mims versus Pennsylvania, which honestly, who's they know about that besides cops? Is it something that DMV asks on the question on their test? No, it's not. So this ruling was Mims versus Pennsylvania. Um, It says officers may order occupants out. The United States Supreme Court has ruled that in the interest of officer safety, an officer may order any or all of a vehicle's occupants out of the vehicle during a traffic stop. Pennsylvania versus Mims, 434 U.S. 106, 1977, ruling that an officer may order a driver out of the driver's vehicle during a traffic stop. This is at most a mere inconvenience. That is reasonable under the Fourth Amendment because it diminishes the possibility that the driver can make unobserved movements preparatory to assaulting the officer. Maryland versus Wilson, 519 U.S. 408, describing Mims as holding that an officer may, as a matter of course, order the driver of a lawfully stopped car to exit the vehicle, and extending the same rule to passengers. The presence of passengers makes the stop more dangerous, and the intrusion of passengers is minimal. So with that, they said they can order you out of your car for a traffic stop. But then another one that people don't know about is the Rodriguez. Officers can't extend stops without reasonable suspicion. Recently, in Rodriguez versus United States, the court ruled that a traffic stop must end when tasks tied to the traffic infraction are or reasonably should have been completed. Thus, a traffic stop may not be extended, even briefly, to allow a drug dog to sniff the stopped vehicle absent reasonable suspicion of criminal activity justifying the continued detention. The majority opinion in Rodriguez mentions Mims, distinguishing the slight intrusion associated with ordering an occupant out of a vehicle from the slight intrusion associated with brief extension of a traffic stop, by noting that the former is based on officer safety and so is inherent to the mission of the stop, while the later is based on officers' general interest in criminal enforcement and is not inherent to a traffic stop. But regardless of any of that, if a cop stops you and you're ordered out, yeah, you got to get out, apparently. But at the same time, cops are trained to use minimal force. But regardless, cops are supposed to use minimal force possible. And repeatedly punching somebody in the face is abuse of authority. It's abuse of power and a lawsuit. Cops don't stand above the law. They're held accountable just like everybody else. And when they go beyond what's reasonable force and beyond what law requires, that's when the issue arises on people's rights. So yeah, he had the right to be able to pull him out. Did he have the right to punch him in the face for not getting out of the car? No, he did not. Did he have the right to tase them both? That officer's supposed to be trained to where he knows what he's doing. And he tased both the driver and the passenger, which makes you question whether or not, when he pulled out his real gun, who would he have shot? Because he couldn't even control the taser. So it could have been somebody in the house getting shot. Because obviously that cop doesn't have control of what he's doing. And just because he's a cop doesn't give him the right to be able to punch somebody in the face during a traffic stop. So really, unless you're a cop or a family member of a cop, who they know about Mims versus Pennsylvania? It's not like they put it out there to make sure that people know that. They don't tell you when you're getting your license, hey, study all these case laws, because if you don't, you will be getting punched in the face by a cop. So that's just a clarification to the video that I put out.